Jain everyone, this is Manisha Rai, an assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering in AKGEC Engineering College, Ghaziabad. In today's session, we will discuss about various tools and methods that is used to develop different kind of cybercrime activities and how a genuine user will be able to save themselves from these kind of cybercrime activities. So one by one, I will discuss all these tools and methods that is used in different segmented cybercrime activities. Just to start my chapter, these are my outlines which I will be using my today presentation. First one is about introductions of tools and methods. The second outline is all about proxy server and anonymizer. Third outline is all about phishing. Fourth one is about password cracking. And fifth one is about keylogger and spyware. So, I'm going to start my presentation with the introduction. Just to start cybercrime activities, first of all, we will segment these activities into different groups. And these groups are known as scareware, malvertising, clickjacking, and ransomware. Any criminal use these strategies to target audience to implement cybercrime activities on them, and if they are trapped in that kind of strategies, so their final motive is to gain some ransomware or financial advantage from that user. So this is the first activity that is known as a scareware. What is scareware? If any criminal try to manipulate victim or user to purchase illegitimate software or try to manipulate them to download any illegitimate software that is not good and secure, and it is also pirated. So that kind of activities are put in scareware condition. The second condition is how a victim can save themselves from scareware. If a user wants to save itself from scareware activities, so they have to follow these activities. The first activity is only download legitimate software, never click on any suspicious link, or do not download any suspicious attachment over the email. Always visit legitimate website to buy something or to buy something new software. The second tactic that attackers always use to trap victims, that is malvertising. Malvertising is a combination of two words, that is malware plus advertising. In the form of advertisement, if any attacker try to sell any suspicious software to victims or user, so these kind of activities are put in the condition of malvertising. How a user can save itself from malvertising? If a user want to save himself from malvertising, so do not click on any kind of suspicious link. Always buy software from genuine and trustworthy websites. Now, we will discuss about the proxy server and what kind of approach is used in proxy server and anonymizer. So first of all, I would like to give some brief introduction about client server architecture because it is directly related to the concept of proxy server. Whenever any user try to access some information from the internet, so first of all, from their own system, they send a request over the server. At that time, user exchange their IP address with that particular server, and also in the form of reply, they also gain IP address of that particular server. So in that kind of condition, user and server both are having IP address of each other, and if any kind of activity or suspicious activity is performed, so with the help of IP address we can trace user. But in the condition of proxy server, what happen if any person want to hide its identity over the internet? So they can install or use the strategy of proxy server. In that condition, whenever user access any kind of information over the internet, so they hide their own IP address, and on the behalf of fake IP address, they communicate with the server. This is the overall the concept of proxy server. Like how proxy server work. Just to install a proxy server, first of all, whenever any user communicate with the server, so they hide their own IP address and generate a new proxy IP address on their own system. And when they try to communicate with the server, so that proxy IP address is shared over the server, and that server send a request to that proxy IP address. After receiving that same information over the user computer, that information is filtered and again reshare over the genuine user IP address. This is the whole concept of the proxy server. This is the way how proxy server is work. Suppose this is the system of the user, and if they want to hide their information over the internet or over the server, so they will establish a one proxy server IP address, and now that IP address is used to communicate with the internet. And when internet revert back the information, that information is first of all transmitted over the proxy server, and that proxy server again transfer the information to the genuine user system. This is the overall concept of the proxy server. Then proxy server has a three different kind, or we can say that in general terms we use three type of proxy server. First one is forward proxy, second one is reverse proxy, and third one is anonymous proxy server. So one by one we will discuss each. What is forward proxy server? Whenever user want to hide its own identity from the server, so they hide their own IP address, and with the help of proxy IP address they communicate with the server. So these kind of techniques came under the criteria of forward proxy server. In the reverse proxy server, what happened if the same kind of scenario server want to use, just like whenever any organization buys some space over the server and they are handling their customer with the help of the data, but they do not want that their customers know their real IP address. So what they do on the server, they install proxy IP address, and with the help of that proxy IP address, now organization communicate with the user. So same kind of scenario when it is used on the side of organization, so that is known as a reverse proxy server. Now we will discuss about the third criteria, that is anonymous proxy server. What is happen in the condition of anonymous proxy server? Like if we want to install proxy server on our system, right? So at one time user is allowed to use only one proxy server, but whenever we install proxy IP address, so first of all we have to put our real IP address in the setting fields. But if a user criteria has something different, and every different time they want to use new IP address, so what they can do at that time, in that kind of scenario, they can use anonymous proxy server. So whenever user communicate with the server, for example, in a day, if user communicate with the server 10 times, so every time user has has an advantage to use new IP address. So in that kind of situation, it is very difficult to trace real IP address of the user. This is the concept of the anonymous proxy server. Now we have one more concept that is known as the VPN or virtual private network. Somehow concept of proxy server and VPNs are safe. But if we will compare proxy server with VPN, so we can say that VPN is more secure and reliable in terms of hiding identity of user or server. So here we will compare VPN and proxy server with each other and try to find out pros and cons of each one. So first of all, I will talk about VPN. So full form the VPN is virtual private network. If any user want to use VPN and if they enable VPN services or install VPN services in the system, so it will encrypt the whole connection of that particular system. Okay, and comparison of that, if any user use proxy server, for example, if any user in their system want to use proxy server to communicate with the server, and their by default browser is Google Chrome, and they will enable proxy in their system. So only Google Chrome, whenever they access the internet with the help of Google Chrome, only the Google Chrome is capable to hide the actual information of the user, but it will not be capable to hide the whole real identity of the system. So in terms of hiding the information, VPN is more secure and reliable as compared to proxy. Then VPN is capable to change the complete IP address of the system, and proxies only change the IP address of the by default browser. Just to use proxy server or just to use VPN, we have to install additional software. But just to use proxy server, we have to just use, or we need to just enable settings in our computer system. In internet connection, we can enable that particular setting. The fourth condition is VPN is costly and proxy server is cheap, or we can say that it is free of cost. VPN is slower than proxy and proxy server is more faster than the VPN, because VPN is covering the whole system, so definitely it will take time, and proxy is just covering or just hiding the information of the one particular browser. That's why it is more faster. VPN is costlier and proxy server is cheaper as compared to VPN. So this is the some main difference between the VPN and the proxy server. Now in this particular slide, we will discuss what is the purpose of the proxy server. So the main purpose of the proxy server to hide the actual information of the user or the server. If user do not want to share his IP address over the internet, so they can use the services of the proxy server. In the same approach, if the server do not want to share its real IP address with all its clients or with all user, so they can use the concept of proxy server to hide their real identity. Now, what kind of risks are associated with the proxy server? These are few risks which is also associated with the proxy server, like weak encryption. Proxies, whenever user try to access any information over the internet, so proxy server provide weak encryption as compared to VPN. Also, it has some few more drawbacks. That is the drawback of data logging in its use open ports. Then the next condition, or in the next slide, we will discuss how a user can set up proxy server on their own system. Just to install a proxy server or just to use the services of the proxy server, first of all, user has to open the internet settings in their own system. In the internet settings, choose the network and internet, and then click on the proxy panel. Here, user has an option to choose automatic way or manual panel way to install proxy server. In that particular panel, user has to provide real IP address and port number of their system to log on proxy server settings. And after enabling all these systems, user will be capable to use proxy server. Now, if I will talk about anonymizer. So what is anonymizer? Just I have already discussed earlier. In the concept of anonymizer, you every time whenever user access server, so they can use different kind of IP address, or we can say that dynamically they are capable to change their IP address over the internet. So this is the concept of the anonymous proxy server, where server is not able to identify the real IP address of the user. So now our second topic will be start, that is the phishing. As I already discussed in the outline of the proxy server anonymous user, we will discuss about the phishing. What is phishing? Well, whenever any attacker try to trap victims or user with the help of fake email, message or call, or try to gain some financial advantages or try to steal their information without their authority, this is the condition of the phishing. Generally, to apply phishing, attacker use strategies of fake email, fake call, fake messages, and they will try to trap the user just to gain their, first of all, they will try to gain their trust, and they will send the information in that way so user will be able to believe that that mail is came from some authentic organization, and with they also insert some suspicious mail or attachment in that particular email, and whenever any user click on that particular link, so attacker will be able to steal their information, and with the help of that information, either if they want, so they can demand for some ransomware, or maybe they will also be able to hack their system to steal some money. So this diagram will be able to represent the concept of the phishing, how phishing work. As you can see that whenever any hacker try to steal the information of the genuine user, so first of all, they will send some phishing mail, messages or call to genuine user, and in that particular mail and message, they will insert some link or they will attach some document, and they will convince victim or user to click on that particular link or just to download that attachment. Whenever an end user or victim click on that particular link or attach that document on their system, so now attacker will be able to access their system, or they will be able to access their sensitive information. With the help of that information, now attacker has an authority to blackmail victim to pay some ransomware. This is the overall or whole concept of phishing, and this is the process how phishing works. Just to execute phishing, these are some methods which is used by the attacker. First of all, they set a plan. It means who will be their target audience. On them they want to apply the strategy of the phishing. After then, they create or they follow particular method to trap the genuine user. Then in the third approach, they launch an attack. After launching an attack with the help of link or attachment, they collect the information of the user, and in the last step, they identify in just to follow what kind of strategies we can demand some ransomware with the end user. This is the overall of method that is used by the attacker just to launch strategy of phishing over the genuine user. Now we will discuss about the third criteria, that is our password cracking. What is password cracking? In password cracking, attacker crack or break the password of the another user without their permission and steal the information of end user and try to gain some advantages with the help of that hacking. This is the overall concept of the password cracking. Just to follow password cracking, attackers use different kind of strategies. Here are some 5 more common strategies are listed here. The first common strategies are phishing. The second common strategy just to crack password of victim, that is social engineering. Third condition is dictionary attack. Fourth condition is rainbow table. And fifth condition is brute force. Phishing, that I already discussed, how with the help of phishing, attacker trap victims. Now in social engineering, attackers use the same approach like they already use in the phishing. With the help of fake links, they trap user over the social media to share their sensitive information or to share their passwords, and in that way they hack or they steal the password of the end user. Now we will discuss about other 3 approaches, that is dictionary approach, rainbow table and brute force techniques. These terms are more technical as compared to phishing or social engineering. So one by one we will discuss all these 3. Like in dictionary approach, what attackers do, dictionary approach is available in the form of software. There are various softwares are available in the market which are capable to break password of any other user system or their social media or online account. What happened in the dictionary attack? It's a kind of software which maintain the database or data set of more commonly used password. So if any attacker want to break the password of the user, so they can purchase the dictionary attack software, and one by one that software apply all these password over the account of end user. And if the end user right now are currently using more common password that is matched with the data set of dictionary attack, then attacker will be able to break the password of end user. This is the overall of phenomenal concept of dictionary attack. This is how dictionary attack work, as I already explained. The second approach is rainbow tables in password cracking. Rainbow table is also approach that is used by the various software to crack the password. How they do it? In the rainbow table, whatever the software organizations do, they make a data set of some regular password which is used by the netizens, and also make a data set of some complex password, but they store that password in the form of hash table. It means they will change that particular password into their hash value and store that values in their software. So whenever any attacker want to break the password of end user, they can purchase their rainbow table software, or with the help of that, if end user account password is matched with the data set of rainbow table software, so they will be capable to break that account password. The third one and the most complex strategy to break the password is brute force technique in password cracking. What is happening in brute force technique? What is happening in the brute force technique? In brute force technique, try and error method is work. They have a huge collection of password data set. So whenever any attacker want to break the password of the end user, they can purchase that kind of software which is built on the concept of brute force technique, and with the help of that, they will be able to break the password of the end user. So this is the overall concept of the brute force technique or password cracking. These are some software which is used in password cracking. Here are the name of that: Aircrack, Cain and Abel, John the Ripper, Hashcat, Hydra, Dave Grohl. These softwares are available in the market which is work in the field of password cracking. And this is the came under the criteria of tools and methods of password cracking. The last topic is our keylogger and spyware. What is happening in the concept of keylogger and spyware? Attacker send a mail or attachment to the end user, and if which is suspicious and contains some virus or spyware software or spyware code into that. So whenever any end user download that attachment or click on into that link, so the particular tool of keylogger and spyware automatic downloaded into their system, and with the help of keylogger and spyware, now the attacker will be able to spy the system of end user, and with the help of that they can steal the private or sensitive information of the end user, or either they can demand for some ransomware just to free their system from that spyware. So these are some examples of the spyware that can be adware in the form of Trojan, password stealer, mobile spyware, and keylogger. These all are came under the criteria of spyware. Then how we can save ourselves from spyware? Do not click on any suspicious link. Do not download any suspicious software or attachment on your system. And whenever you click on any adware, so before that, please install adware scanner on your system or attachment scanner on your system, and use antivirus and firewall just to protect your system from the spyware and keylogger tool. These are some approaches which can be followed by end user to save their system from the attackers' approaches. With the help of that, I would like to conclude my topic. I hope you will like it. If you have any query or question, so you can ask in the comment section of my video. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time. Have a good day.